Hey everybody, Asher here, back with more Starsector. We are continuing exactly where we left off again. I say that a lot, but we are going to the gates, specifically using Gargoyle's token to see if we can figure out what Warlord Canta wants. I mean, we've been trying to beat up the pirates enough as is. By the way, let's make sure our fuel situation's good. Let's make sure our diplomacy situation's good and nobody is on the way to attack us. Doesn't seem to be the case. Seems like we're okay. There is another loot cell that's not targeting us. So cool. The remnants are being remnants. Tri-tach literally got nothing to do. So we're good. So I know we're kind of in the late moves here of this game, and I'm just going to honestly just decide, you know what, I don't want to spend the time. We can already transverse jump. We previously broke Morgana up here. So now nobody can steal its secrets. I guess maybe that's why, you know, maybe we shouldn't be testing these strange devices out in the public. So we're trying to be safe by only isolating off parts of stars. Are you coming for me? No, you're running from me. Good job. What a smart move. Alright, so Kanta's den. Let's leave our transponder on, because I want them to know who we are. So here's our gas giant. Let's see what business we have here. Or we can just fly right by it. That's fine too. So the pirates are vengeful towards you at the Port Authority refuses your request to dock and clearance. The refusal is rather perfunctory. So pretty much there's all of these that we can do. We can try to meet Kanta. We can raid Alyssa's out. Let's try to take a shuttle to meet Kanta. The pilot goes through the routine chatter with what passes for traffic control. At that point, the control asks for a standard bribe and a good landing spot, and you have comms forwarded your data pad. Yeah, well, who's this then, shuttle? Gonna buy me lunch, or are you gonna be waiting? So, let's see here. Let's make it easy, friend. Do you like fry, red, or green? You transfer a fractional credit over to the thug running traffic control, enough to cover a generous meal or a round of cheap drinks. Here's one to brighten today, Control says. Enthusiastically, me, I'm gonna go halfsies with the big fry, a bit of each. Shuttle, you're cleared to land at Munitions Bay 12. So we're here to see the Warlord. Copy that. Hold, please. Look! That's not the Warlord here. Vid flickers for life. A watch is static as your datapad interprets outdated comm protocols. Yeah, who are you? Eris McIntosh snarls. And what makes you think you can show your grill in this line asking for Big K? She's not going to talk to any puking mud boot that crawls aboard unless it's to tell him about their one-way trip to join the disc. So, I'd say if it says please, I could say if not a fourth-rate desk pilot trying to look big on comms, or we can just send the token. Let's be a dick. Alright, no it would not. The last thing I need is some heggy boot-licking narc dropping ground dirt in my fine station. So here's the token. You hit the send key, and without a word, you send the pirate's face. Change expression completely. Oh, family, huh? Didn't recognize your face. You don't got the look, but ha-ha, the Cantos die everywhere, aren't they? Lud's hells, you should have said something. Her voice is much softer when she isn't telling you to suck vacuum. You know the drill. The Warlord doesn't like comms, so we'll have to make you an appointment with the court. You get boots on station, and I'll have someone meet you there. So we land. Look at how beautiful this place is. You leave the 4 guards and the pilot in your shuttle. 2 more guards follow you, and the pirate lieutenant sent to meet you nods that this is correct. You lead through a primary access corridor towards the center of the station. You adjust quickly to disjointed agrav fields. In effect, you suspect is intentional and ranks of pirates of all shapes and ages eye you for weakness, murmuring crude comments and jousting for prestige. You can almost pick out a pattern of relations in their faces. This is a family business, and in their anarchic uniforms, their bed-decked in prizes. Modified combat armor plated with gold and gems, stolen high-end vac suits redone in off-brand colors, tri-tach neck scarves crudely knotted, ostentatious luxury wear. They wear their wealth on their outside. The more garish, the better. So they're like pirates in fancy, crazy hats, I guess. Past pitted blast doors hung with crimson skull banners. A large bay opens. The lingering acrid scent of energy weapon discharge hangs in the air, almost but not quite concealing the odor of rotting meat. You brought before what can only be described as a throne, tastelessly backlit and blood red for maximum effect. The caps, badges, and insignias of various naval officers are impaled on fused blossoms of trophy weapons. You recognize kit from all over the polities of the Persian sector. And here's Jorian Kanta. Look at you, looking all piratey over here. Above all, the hissing, thrumming figure of warlord Jorian Kanta. More machine now than human. Her face is a mask. What skin you can see is leathery like the rad scarring of old spacers. The synthesized voice booms from the throne. Submit before Kanta. Wow, you're really taking the robot thing seriously. Before her, a strange small man hunches. He wears some parody of a doctor's surgical garb. You'd have best kneel, the doctor hisses. We'll kneel. When a broken Atmos scrubber could laugh, it might sound like the noise coming from Kanta. A kneeler! We'll see. You know who's strong here. Know your place. Kanta will watch over you. The doctor grimaces bloodlessly. The small doctor steps forward and clears his throat and says, I'm Dr. Sinoda, personal assistant to the warlord. Sidonia. Let's get that right. He nods stiff-necked, the tiniest hint of a bow, then addresses you before entering the court, or before the entire court. You bear a token of Kanta's kin, Nashian, who is of the outer family, but Nashian never gave you this token. I checked. Now the guards react, lowering their weapons, not training them on you just yet. Kanta speaks again, raising a gauntleted arm for emphasis. We know the family is safe, so we will not take your blood, not this day. Lucky you, the doctor whispers, smiling, then speaks louder. The great warlords are wondering, why would a thief dare show their face before mighty Kanta? The warlord makes an art of correcting those who hold misguided belief that they may steal from her. His spindly arm extends to indicate something piled in the dark around Kanta's throne. Round shapes in the shadows, a glint of ivory. So I could say, I am no thief. I've come openly, haven't taken this prize from your kin. That's actually a lie, so I'm just going to tell the truth. I'll waste no time. I'm here for Alyssa Zal. The Dr. Sidonia pulls back, shocked at your directness, and glances at Kanta to gauge how she would react. He scurries up her throne to whisper in her ear and listen. Satisfied after a short conference, the doctor stands forward to address you. The great warlord is intrigued by your knowledge of her queendom. Sidonia intonates, relishing the drama. When the outer family and the great Kanta, watchful subjugates from all across the sector, whispered about the cleverness of Captain Asherwells, the words were no mere neutrino ghosts. His voice darkens, but here your journey comes to an end, Captain. Such insolence. His motions to his guards, who raise weapons. The warlord will, and with a clank, Kanta herself stands, and her amplified voice drowns out Dr. Sidonia. We see a predator, a hunter, a trickster, a warrior. We see a weapon we would wield you. The cowering Dr. Sidonia back to her. Her ruthlessness would wield you, he admits, addressing the court. Glory and riches flow to those who the warlord so honors. So you could say my payment will be Zal. Sidonia hunches forward and speaks quietly. Simply access, oh no, you demand as the whole of the person. Kanta went through much trouble to acquire this asset, and is loath to give it up, but, his eyes twitch, accessing cybernetic implants, we understand that your abilities are exceptional, and you have access to a high place, special technologies. I may be able to convince Kanta to let you have the asset if you serve well just. Kanta's voice booms out again. Bring me back my pet Loke, and Zal is yours. Blood for blood. The pather called Cotton will be taught Kanta's justice. Wasn't that fun? So I guess there's this person trying to be in charge. There's this person actually in charge. That's a fun little dynamic. He leans, the great warlord will have her pet return. This Asherwells, this will be her champion, where all others have failed. He leans close to you, smelling of vinegar. Sidonia speaks quickly and quietly, eyes flickering with words and images that he can only see. Brother Livewell Cotton, a rising star in the ludic path, based out of the planet Epiphany and Algebra system generally. He could be many places, however. One of his cells kidnapped Kanta's pet, a clone of the former warlord, one's the most Loke, and my creation. She wants her pet back. No one else has managed to track Cotton down. He frowns, hesitant to reveal something that gives in. She's obsessed. It's made things difficult. Do this and you may receive me and Zal as well. Not that meddling, Zal as well, that meddling tinkerer. So, I'm going to say I need a guarantee, which is true. Ignoring your words, okay. Cydonia turns abruptly to the court and gives a shrill cry. It is agreed. The captain will return the great warlord's petlock, which now be educated. This is how you serve the great warlord. Kanta claps once with her gauntlets like an airlock slamming shut and stands. Noise erupts for the court. Cydonia retreats to her side. Then guards step forward to lead you away. Your hearing before the warlord's court is over. So that's nice. As you're led away, the trembling, bruising man held to power-armored goons makes a pleading eye contact with you. His audience is next. You are led back through the supplicants and courtiers, shifting figures gleaming crimson, chrome, and gold. Many eyes fall upon you, but you feel their hate as Canta, or is it Cydonia, wields you like a bludgeon to shame them. So the pirates hate us. Find and extract a clone of Loke from the Pather kidnappers. If we try to raid here, you convince your senior officers to discuss an extraction scenario for Alyssa Zal. Kanta's den is swarming with heavily armed gangs and is enveloped by a stealth mine network. You also lack any real intel pertaining to Zal's position within the station. The potential cost and difficulty of the raid is therefore projected to be extreme. High attrition of assault shuttles must be assumed, and dozens of separate infiltration squads would have to simultaneously breach volumes where Zal could be held. There's no way the operation would be anything but a meat grinder. It would also be a blatant attack upon Kanta, which would provoke pirates across the sector. If that even matters anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. So, our raid strength is this. Our operation difficulty is 100. Projected rate effectiveness is 95. We could actually do it. But do we take the easy way out? Or do we take the fun way? I don't know. This is like stuff we've done before. Let's go back. Let's see where this thread takes us, because we've done a lot of pirate raiding. Find and extract the clone. So from Pather kidnappers. We don't really know where you are. We just know that you're possibly in Epiphany. So that's easy enough to follow. Maybe. Transverse jump for fun. We have a lot of supplies for now. I mean, the Pathers just love us. So we'll be flying into hostile territory. Nothing I'm not used to. I could turn off my transponder. That could work pretty well, but it's probably better at this point. If we go down to Epiphany, it's up here. Let's just jump on in. Transponder off, because it's the ludic path, and we're just going to dive. Alright, who wants some? We have a watcher. Well, here's Epiphany. Okay, so we go into orbit. The local port authority seems to take no issue with your explanation for why your transponder can't be turned on. So, we can extract this guy, who's apparently there. Can open a comms directory. Grace Perry, Grace Coat. Huh, maybe that's a reason why it's there. We have all of these things available. It's nothing too exciting. We could sell our Marines. That's pretty terrible. So prepare raid. You convince your senior officers to talk about this. An attack on one Pather is an attack on all. Shooting starts and you anticipate security forces activate planet-wide. So this has to be a quick operation. Hitting cotton strongholds all at once is a surprise raid. Will require many Marine squads, but it will ensure the greatest odds of finding the Loke clone. So, once again, our raid strength is really strong. So I guess it's one way or another. We raid or we raid. This one actually has moderate chances at losing. Well, moderate casualties. It's fine. So if we do our preparation secret, then we will not have the path get to us. And we lost 100 Marines. But the main bridge of the hive of activity with affiliated officers brought into coordinates and assaults by tactical teams on the stronghold of Cotton's Pathers. A volley of quick orbital strikes from your fleet disrupt the power and communications, leaving planetside comms chatter a confused, staticky buzz of accumulated alerts, and hand equipment operations speaking in code. Your part is simple now. Let the Marines do their work while you provide orbital cover for the extraction shuttles. Displays flicker with vid feed of live order of battle chart ticks off as the casualties tick up. You watch and you wait as your raiders return. So, You meet the successful extraction team in the bay. The smell of the vacuum of combat fills your nose, burnt, acrid, and metallic. Well, hey, Loke, you're a clone. How are you doing? A couple of Marines in power armor undersuits escort clone Loke into your custody. He looks around curiously. Seeing you, he stops, makes a bland, lopsided smile, and says, "Lud bless you, friend." You have him escorted to the brig for safekeeping. Your personal comms start buzzing. Scattered planetary defenses are starting to activate. Tactical reports of a tentative radar sweep from the ground battery battle. So, Nav, we got to get out of here. Okay, you're really going to do this right now? We have a fleet coming. Do I really care? I don't think I do. I think we just fly out. Like, they're not really coming for us that hard. So that's fine. Well, be better if I actually hit the thing. Oh, Coop is size 6 now. Nice. Let's take a quick look. Size 6. You have all of the industry up about you. We're doing mining and getting volatiles for that. We have an orbital works. We have refining, ground defenses. You pretty much have everything. And you're a free port. So, pretty sure it's going to be commerce. I mean, we could do fuel production, but commerce, it's going to decrease stability, but it's going to increase income. That seems fine. There goes all our money. All right, let's visit Canta again. Which, once again, how's the best place to get here? Dumb space station, not exactly close. Wait a minute. That's the Ludic Church returning to Hesperus with supplies. So that's the church, not the path. Alright, transponder on, red alerts. There's tri-tach, looking all tri-tachy. Alright, we do need to resupply on Marines just a little bit. Alright, so your nav officer calls attention to the bridge display of the local volume. What passes as traffic control around Canta's end appears to be non-operational. Comms request blinks suddenly. The warlord Canta appears, a masked face atop a throne draped with trophies of raid conquest. Sup? Beside her, of course, is Dr. Sidonia, who begins to speak. Ah, so Captain, do you return our dear Loke? Canta booms over him. So I'm going to say, yes, I have Loke, but first I want Zal. Canta laughs inhumanly. Ah, says the doctor, licking his lips. I'm afraid that's not quite so simple as that. You've not pleased the great warlord Canta sufficiently for you to bring a prize chinker. Okay, so what is it you want? Tactical whispers in your ear. Captain detecting stealth mines arming. Sparse envelope of fleet damage outlook checking moderate. They want to show they can hit us. Canta's voice rolls with the comms. Canta wields and is Canta who orders. We give you a gift. It will only be at our pleasure. You must learn. Yes, Captain Sidonia agrees. You must learn. Canta has for another task complete without complaint, and then perhaps you may get back her favor after such an outrageous. There's Alyssa Zell. Zal joins the line, interrupting Sidonia. I've decided to take Captain Asher Wells up on that deal, Zal says. Her voice sounds close, as if she's speaking from inside a vac suit. Captain, I'm outside your flagship. Now, if you would please open the bay doors. Shock washes over Sidonia. Impossible, he says, and turns to his minion. Check Zal's quarters now. Uh-oh. Canta's voice roars painfully across the comms. Call my fleets! Destroy the... Her cybernetic visage crackles in a wash of static. Comm feeds interrupted. How cute. What do you know? She hates us because she tried to double-cross us and failed. Isn't this a fun game? Zal's image flickers and holds steady. I took the liberty of injecting one of Gargoyle's tricks into their network. Would you mind letting me on board? It won't take them long to get the signal out. This volume is going to be swarming with pirates very soon, to say nothing of the stealth mine network. So, open the pod bay doors. That's nice. After a tense minute, security reports that they brought Zal aboard, along with a large equipment case. At your orders, your security chief provides her with the ship's comms unit. I owe you one, Zal says, and I think I can repay you shortly, but first we're going to have to get out of the stealth mine network. I think you have something has your values more than taking revenge on you or me. So we can toss Loke out of the airlock, or we can toss him out with a helmet. It's probably a good idea to toss him out with a helmet. Captain, your tactical officers reports the stealth mines have disarmed. We're clear to disengage. Zal speaks up. Kanta will call her fleets. They usually loiter in nearby hyperspace. They'll come through the jump points. Straight for us. We've got to get out of the magnet system without a fight, and you hear a smile in her voice. In the equipment case, I brought on board a fully operational Janus device. Okay. So that's interesting. We could say Nav set a course for the magnet gate, or this isn't going to be another Galati incident. It won't be, Zal says, I promise. And besides, if it was, imagine the hammer that would fall on Canta. Alright. So let's go to the gate. Alright, so we actually get to make it so. So we're going to have pirates coming at us. Here comes a fleet. And do we have any other fleets coming? Like, we're faster than them. Could always turn off my transponder just so we know. Really? You're intercepting my fleet. We just have everybody that really likes us, don't they? Alright, we got a lot of money just in time because we're at the gate. Alright! Before you hangs the gate, a vast point of derelict in the former age. Your comm interface lights up. Execute scan. You'll need to scan the gate, Zal says softly your comm feed, and then... Say, and then... Then, Zal says, I'll give you my working Janus device. I can hook it up to your flagship's hyperdrive. Then we can travel through the gates to the Galati system. So, we could progress the story a little bit. I'll just say Scylla will be glad to see you. Yeah, let's just focus on getting through alive. Your comm interface says, execute scan. Scan the gate. You scan on command, shows the hyperspace manifold. It's calm and cold. The scan begins. A line of such and such spirals, ripples, everything. Hear the faint sound of music. The scan is complete. You've scanned this gate and discovered the rhythm of the secret. With your permission, Captain, Zal says, I'll jury-rig the Janus device, the flagship's hard drive. Well, that sounds good. Unfortunately, we're being pursued right now, so that's fine. Janus device temporarily installed. The Janus device is ready. We can traverse the gate at your order. So, let's just do it. We've already asked her, how do we know this isn't going to blow up again? All right, the hyperspace manifold pulses coolly, then again warmer. It's working. Your officers operate with collective cool, but you can feel the tension. You're about to do what no one has done for over 200 cycles. A distant keening touches your mind. You instantly review your command status displays. No hyperspace alarm, no system alerts. No one else reacts as if anything is wrong. It's just in your head, an animal in pain. You try to concentrate on the sound and it slips away. You hear the thrum of life support, the rumble of engines, the soft chorus of the bridge console's feedback as your officers and your officers' humanity. Everyone is watching the pulsing of the gate. Access executive control. And look at where we can go. We can go to any of the gates that we've scanned, even Morgana again. We're going to go back to Galatia, even though it's really convenient that we can go back to Kaddish as well via gate. So, this takes fuel. Does this take more fuel? Yes, it does. Still better than the alternatives. So, pew, 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 pew. Pirates are going to be like, we followed you through the gates. So, return to the Galatia Academy here. Okay. So, Galatia Gate. Where's the Academy? Academy's over here. Look, we did it! And now we can jump through kind of how we want. Are you really coming after me? Because I don't have my transponder on. Is this really what we're doing right now, guys? You know what? That's fine. Allow the scan. We don't have anything illegal. Let's just let them leave. It's like, yeah. The only thing we're carrying is something you have no idea how to use. It's like that tiny little picket is going to take on all these guys. Alright, so, Captain Asher Wells, we observed your fleet come through the gate. It was magnificent. She takes a deep breath, looking up and away for a moment. Then back at you. History has leapt forward for the first time in 200 cycles. Still, the Provost says suddenly she should hear this so she knows why I had to do it all. I'll link her in. Kuros joins the call, alert and expectant. Captain, she says. And Provost, we've all been watching the feeds, and I've been in contact with Alyssa. Thank you, Captain. The Provost raised an eyebrow. Prompted, Kuros explains. Alyssa built a working Janus device and gave it to the captain. She brought us the full schematics. Well, I should like to meet this Alyssa Zal, Provost Baird says. So Scylla is very happy with us. That's good. Hello, Provost Zal says. Finally we speak. I've heard so much about you. It's a small thing, but you watch as Baird suppresses a first shock, then a flash of anger as her comms is being joined without invitation. I love it. That's fine. Alyssa's out, Baird says. You can almost feel her judging through the comlink. This is very surprising, she says, off balance. Academician Karos Zal, we have much to discuss. But first, those schematics in the hyperspace labs. And Captain the Provost addresses you now. If you had come directly to my office, we ought to not discuss the detail of the next stage on comms. So you take your shuttle to the Galati Academy. Alyssa Zal sits across from you, smiling to herself. So, I'm going to ask, planning something? Zal meets your eyes, always, she says. That's fun. You enter Provost Baird's office. She greets you with uncharacteristic warmth. Come in, make yourself comfortable, she says. You note a bottle of something rare and 4 crystal glasses on her desk. She taps her console on her face. I wanted to show you this before the announcement went public. She adds, with sarcastic reverence, approval from the High Hegemon. With a flicker, the hollow projector beams an image into the large central volume of the office, your flagship triumphantly exiting the gate. Drive aglow, hyperspace bubble rendered invisible EM as a victorious golden aura. And this little show is only the first step, Captain. A link between 2 gates is momentous, but it means that so much more is possible. If we can open 1 gate, then we can scale the technology to open more, and it will take nearly unimaginable energy and the resources of the sector spanning empire. Baird brings her hands together, staring at the hollow, and taps her fingers as if to let off excess energy. Though the factions of this sector are weak, the bones of the domain are scattered all around us. Academicians Simisola had located a derelict coronal tap, which could provide the energy required to theoretically mine only permanent links to the gate network, and if what Coros's theories imply are true, the Provost's attention turns to the world around her. Where is Scylla? She is to report her after sending the schematics. She taps a key on her desk console, a touch of annoyance in her voice. Sebastian, have Koros and Yes and Zal. Have them sent in. She shakes her head and gives you a see what we must deal with look. She turns away and the comms unit chimes. She turns back. What is it, Alvis? Is she on the station or not? Stop. It's a simple yes or no question, I see. She taps the comms, the triumph draining from her face. Security, find me Academician Scylla Koros and her Alyssa Zal. Yes, immediately. Top priority. Another tap, and get me that insipid hacker. Yes, I mean gargoyle. No, just on comms. I'm just going to continue. Alright, so there's Gargoyle. Gargoyle's face appears projected over the expansive desk. Where are they? Baird demands. By Lud 7 hells, I will sell you piece by piece to tri-tach if you lie to me. The hacker gets very still, staring into a vacuum cracks in a bulkhead, threatening a collapse in the vacuum. I do not know, Gargoyle says deliberately. I did not assist them in some scheme, though perhaps I did, though they never said it was their intention. I simply provided tools they requested, codes, programs, advice. So you helped them, Baird shouts, for the protection I provided, asking the High Hegemon himself to overlook your crimes, your pay me with this treachery. Gargoyle holds up his hands. No, you look. I admit, I suspected something, but I didn't ask. You gave me an explicit instructions to fulfill any request, anything made by Scylla. You can tell the hacker is repressing an impish smile. I have the recording. Do anything Koros says, you said, and I don't want you to ask any more any questions. I believe those were your exact words. Baird slams her hand on the console, terminating the link. Her personal comms chimes in, then chimes. She picks it up. Speak. She listens for a moment, then clicks the comms off without replying. Her hand trembling, she removes her spectacles, and now you hear a small snap. Nice. She turns away, her body rigid. Have you a knife for me too, Captain? Baird stares at the window, broken spectacles dangling from her hand. An open gate, your fleet poised triumphant in flight from the cascading hyper vortices of its great maw, spins slowly and silently from the hollow projector. So we could do any of this. I just say, you got what you wanted, didn't you? Baird slowly give you a look. Her eyes are red. She turns back to the window. All right. It doesn't happen as you expected. No, she answers, gazing out the window. Well, looks like my work's here done. Yes, she says without emotion. Well, let's just be a dick then. You reap what you sow. Yes! We got the get out. All right. So, get out. The heavy wooden doors give you a touch, and you step through, surprising the guards with mirror-faced helmets. The waiting room as courtiers eyes you spitefully. What business did some upstart rocket jockey have that's more important than securing their legacy? You step through the airlock doors into the shuttle bay, the very stars at your fingertips. So, we've gone through the gate, and that actually completes pretty much the initial story portion of everything that's available here. Unless there's something I have completely missed. But what we can do is we can go scan these gates, visit these gates, go figure out how we can do things with gates. We can always go back to places like Silix and try to take on that bounty again. There's a lot of other things we can do. But like I said, the nice thing about Starsector is that there's always more to do. So I guess probably since you want us to get out, let's at least use the Janus device to go home. But that's going to do it for this one. I know it's a little bit shorter than some other ones. A little bit of that is because of recording time, but a little bit of that is just because this is a pretty good stopping point for this episode. We've gone from story time to just outright going through here. So let's read this. Before you, vast and potent hangs the Adamite ring. Derelict to perform age. You scan the gate and discover the rhythm of the secret. The Janus device operates by transferring enormous amounts of peculiarly phased energy via the lead ship's hyperdrive field to stabilize a direct gate-to-gate connection. So we travel through the gate and we can go to Kaddish. Let's go ahead and transfer without explosions. So you put all your eggs in a basket. You know, I will say this much. I tried to be sympathetic. I tried to say it's okay. And if you're just going to stare there red-eyed, red in the face with all the people that worked for you, working because they had to, instead of trying to build up some kind of team and making people want to respect you and interact with you, then there's not really much you can do other than just reap what you sow. So that's going to do it for this one. This is Asher. We will continue with even more Starsector here in the near future. Like I said, any suggestions for things you'd like to see me do or try? Definitely thinking of ripping out a pristine nanoforge from somewhere. May visit the Pathers a little more. Definitely want to try out that other large bounty again with a more suitable fleet. But that's going to do it here. You all have a good one. See you next time.